Okay, we are recording and live streaming when you are ready, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so at 8:59. It's okay. Okay, at this time, I'd like to call to order the Isabel County Board of Commissioners, Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee meeting. First up, we have an approval of the agenda. Do you commissioners see any additions or subtractions? Okay, seeing no objections, we'll approve the agenda as presented. Moving on, we'll go to a call to the public. There's nobody physically in the room here. Is there anybody online?
There is not, I'm sorry, there is not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we will have another opportunity at the end of the meeting for a call to the public. And at this time, I will close the call to the public. Okay, moving right into the agenda items, we have consider approving the payment of milestone 4 in the amount of $439,746.80 for the radio tower project. We do have the sheriff online, and this is the continuation of the project. So let's just update us a little bit at how far it's coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually have some updates to give. The tower is erect. It's 185 feet in the air. The Nicoya dishes are attached to it. We've spent some money and not seen a whole lot, so it's nice to see it upright. Last week they started the wiring, portable generator in for the dispatch center to make sure they're solid. But the wiring is all being taken place now. The shelter's on site, been put in the slab that was designed for it. So we are moving forward. As you mentioned, this is another milestone. We've seen this is milestone 4, so we've seen this before. There's actually a milestone 5, but it's not a billable milestone. And then I have another one that I'm kind of holding before. It's kind of in queue on my end for milestone 6, which is another payment. But I'll make sure this one processes through and we get reimbursed prior to submitting that one to the CJ and Board of Commissioners, so we're not taxing that too hard on our general fund working cash there. So again, just another exactly the same as we've seen in the past milestone for the project. It is monies that were appropriated by the state of Michigan to us. We do not have those funds in our coffers or our bank. We have to pay them out of our general fund. We submit them almost immediately to Motorola. We get an EFT back from them saying it's paid. We then turn around immediately and submit that to DTMB, which is the financial piece of the state, and they reimburse us electronically within usually 24 to 30 hours or so. So we don't really see that money out of our pocket for very long. No general fund dollars, that are appropriated for this project. It's all monies that was granted to us from the state.
How's the timeline coming? Are we pretty much on schedule?
So we are on schedule. I will tell you there are a couple of minor invoices attached to this milestone. One in the amount of $297, the other one in the amount of $450. During the groundwork, no matter how much we tried to have Miss Dig and everybody else identify the spaghetti mess of wires at the dispatch center, we did strike 2 fiber lines, one being a CMU line that they fixed, and then another one that we had to have repairs done. A cable line, which is a backup phone as well, was struck. One of them was built into the fencing that we done a few years ago. They cemented into the fiber line, so when they pulled the fence up, it pulled it up. The next couple were just not marked well enough. So even with those little hiccups, we are still on track. I'm hoping here in the next 30 to 60 days, we'll be able to start running some tests. We actually, on the law enforcement end, are going to begin kind of revisiting our end user radio portable mobiles, getting all of those lined up and get a demo of the unit that we're looking at buying and purchasing from these funds. So we're ready to move forward on that once that test is done.
Okay, I don't know.
Sorry, I missed that. When are you going to be testing it?
So I'm hoping the next 30 to 60 days we'll be at a point where we can test it. They're giving us last quarter of this year to have it finalized. But I think we're gonna see that, probably, early fall. I'm hoping, mid-fall, somewhere in there to be able to get those tests done or get it activated and turned on. There is work at, the 6303 tower, which is the existing tower in our county, and then it's 42 something, 4201 or whatever tower, which is just inside of Midland County. There is some work that has to be done on those two towers. And basically what that'll do is that will create a loop with this new tower. So if one leg of that goes down, we don't lose radio communications in the county. So there is some work that needs to be done, even though it looks like it's getting close on our end. There is still stuff on those two towers that need to be done.
Yeah, I don't have any questions.
All right, I'll make a motion, move to bring forward the consideration approval payment of milestone 4 in the amount of $439,746.80 for the radio tower project to the Board of Commissioners on Tuesday.
I will support that. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. It's passed unanimously. We'll move that forward. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, next up is considering approving the recommendation to place full-time deputy county clerk grade 7 at a part-time status effective immediately. Okay, and we have Clerk Lux online, I believe.
Good morning, Mindy.
We can't hear you.
Nope. Can you hear us?
Yeah, you can call. Yeah, Mindy, I'll get you the. Okay, looks like you can dial in 312 626 6799. And it'll ask for a meeting ID. Let me know when it asks for a meeting ID and I'll give it to you. 895 5567 4434. And then if it asks for a participant ID, just push pound. Okay, I see you're in the waiting room. This is gonna work.
Call it speakerphone too.
This would be on YouTube. Sound.
She'll be on, yeah, the sound will still be on
Right.
YouTube. Yep, she's called into the Zoom and we're on YouTube, so. Mindy, it looks like your phone is on mute, though. I've pushed the ask to unmute.
She just doesn't want to talk to us.
I know.
button.
Let me just call her.
Yeah.
I can do that. I'll just call you, Mindy, put you on speaker. Okay. That might work better. Am I getting it? I'm calling your personal phone.
Maybe she gave you the wrong number. Commissioner.
Maybe 2898604.
I'm sorry to get this phone right now, but please leave me your name and number and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
I got your phone.
Are you gonna
On
leave
the
her
tone,
phone?
please record your message. When you finish recording, you may
Just
hang
a second.
up or press 1.
Why don't you just call me?
Call me.
Okay. I had the right number, guys. I got the
Hello,
voicemail.
good morning, Miss Mindy. Maybe I need to, there you go, thank you, perfect.
Sorry.
Yes, no, that's perfect, yes.
She probably has.
Nothing in this, nothing's working.
We got you. Thanks
Wow.
for hanging in
I
there.
know she has ignore on my number, so when my number comes up, it goes ignore.
I know that.
Sorry.
That's how that works.
Woo, we
Okay.
gotcha.
Okay.
We gotcha.
Proceed.
Okay, so I am currently going out for a full-time position, and that was Leanne's. Leanne's been moved up to the chief deputy clerk. And instead of us hiring 2 full-time, I think I can take that extra full-time person, which would have been Carol Anderson, and bring her down to part-time and pay for her through my CPL fund. And I think that will also help the general fund.
Okay, it doesn't affect our policy.
No,
I
no,
didn't
and
think it would. I
she
just want to
could-
make sure.
and she could choose to do this, like in other departments right now, just because because of who is in the position, it's working to take them down to part-time status. We're not coming to the board for that because the hope is to go back to full-time status, right?
Correct.
This is different though. Mindy's saying that Clerk Lux is saying she thinks she can move forward with a part-time instead of a full-time. And so then really it's going to the board to say, make it so, make a full-time a part-time. Right now she's offering CPL funds in addition to taking it to part-time to cover that part-time. And I think long-term, we need to really analyze the CPL fund. It's already paying for a portion of another position, I think. So we just want to make sure that it can sustain it over time. So understand the situation today, right now, might be she can cover it. I don't know long-term she can, but I think the action of the board would be, you know, to take it from the full-time to the part-time. I think the CPL funding is just a little extra right now.
Right.
Mhm. And then it would mean going forward, if the clerk ever wanted to bring that back up to full-time status, have to come back to the board. She wouldn't have the ability to do that on her own.
Which I will have to bring it up to full-time, but right now, I mean, this is kind of give or take. I think we can handle it with a part-time. Right now, we're struggling because we have 2 full-time missing. But we have 2 jobs that we are doing currently. I should say we are not doing, and that's fingerprinting and passport photos. But I do know Sheriff will need us to take those on here soon. So I want to make sure we have another person here full-time and one part-time to help back us up on that.
I don't have any questions.
Which position, are you hiring for both, or do you already have person in the, going to part-time?
Currently hiring for Leanne's position. When Shelley Nelson left, my chief deputy, I had to fill her position, and I brought Leanne Ellis up to chief deputy. That left me 2 openings. And so then we just recently were hiring for Leanne's position. And it still leaves me with a full-time position out there. So this is why I'm thinking we can try and move it from full-time to part-time and get us through this year, as long as we're in this money deficit right now.
Yeah, I know that the MRF has had hard time filling part-time position.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have more luck in the clerk's office here.
I thought it'd be worth a try.
Yeah, I think this is the part of the way Clerk Luck is trying to give, you know, a lot of the talks in the zero-based budget were maybe reorganizing, maybe sending accounts payable and payroll to the clerk. With the staff turnover she's had, this is not the time we recognize to send new duties to that office, right?
Mhm.
And so in the recent budget meetings, we let Clerk Lux know it would not be our recommendation to do that. And this was kind of her response to that, right? Recognizing that she wouldn't be able to give in that capacity. I think this is one way she came to the table. Thank you, Clerk Lux.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think that even without those duties, the clerk's office has seen
Increase.
a large increase in duties given by both the state of Michigan and the people of Michigan. And so definitely, our job is to support you and make sure that you can serve the constituents in that duty that's required. So you keep us in the loop and let us know how we can help. Because we can't, obviously our job is, we can't allow you guys to be overwhelmed, not be able to do what is required.
Thank you.
I don't have any further
Okay,
questions, unless you do.
yeah. All right, make a motion to move forward the consideration of approving the recommendation to place the full-time deputy county clerk grade 7 at a part-time status effective immediately to the Board of Commissioners meeting on Tuesday.
And I will support that. Any more discussion? Seeing none, we will proceed to vote. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The ayes have it. We will move this forward. Thank you, Clerk.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Mindy. Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, moving up, any announcements? I have none. And with that, we'll do a final call to the public. I still see nobody in that room physically. Is there anybody online that would like to comment? Or on the phone?
There is not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, with that, I will close the call to the public and I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone.
All right.